I cannot enter. Balls of Mars, fortifiers. As popular as they are ineffective. But they do contain iron tartrate, and that might prove itself useful. Behavior is similar to the infected William Bishop. Must be the same strain. This sickness moves faster than influenza. This key will surely grant me access to the basement. It's locked. These scowls feed from corpses and the husks of animals. They're not after blood. It's locked, all right. Mr. Connor's injuries don't match the report. I'd better look into this. The chest was originally opened to perform the operation. The sutures are clean, but the chest has been reopened. Traces of a pinkish foam at the corner of the lips. Some sort of drug overdose, perhaps? Multiple abrasions and scarring on the arms and legs. Old and distinctive injuries of a sailor or a fisherman. A puncture over the left lung, possibly a chest tube insertion. Not the cleanest work, but I think it was successful. Signs of internal bleeding. So, Dr. Tippett's anesthetics were incorrectly dosed, causing the patient's death. And then he tried to operate on him again. Tippett has made an egregious error. It's time we talked. Tippett has made an egregious error. It's time we talked. These scowls can be so ferocious. I'm not sure I can defeat them without becoming stronger. To drink blood is so tempting. Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reed, the new surgeon at the Pembroke Hospital. And who are you?
Your name has no meaning to me, mortal. You're nothing but dust blown by the winds of eternity.
I beg your pardon?
What are you begging for, mortal? My clemency? Well, tonight maybe I'm inclined to mercy. You'll never forget the night you met Thelma Howcroft.
You keep calling me mortal. Why is that? And if I'm mortal, what are you?
Well, Dr. Reed, if you must know, I'm a vampire.
Who are you really, Miss Howcroft? I mean, apart from being a vampire.
Is that not enough for you, puny mortal? What do you require? Proof of my powers?
I'm curious to know who you were before becoming a vampire.
No, it was such a long time ago, I don't remember. Centuries of unholy life can have strange effects on one's minds, you see?
I'm assuming you must be a patient here. Am I right, Miss Howcroft?
It's only a cover. To hide from my enemies. I can leave whenever I want. As a woman, a spirit, fog, or bat.
Who are these enemies you mentioned? Can you describe them?
I cannot say for sure. But I sense their eyes on me from nearby. I feel them watching me every time I visit the garden near the morgue.
The staff here are not your enemy. They're here to help you, to care for you.
I'm not speaking of the doctors in white. I'm speaking of the men and women who hunt me, for I am a vampire.
I see. Don't worry. These people will not find you here. I'll personally make sure they leave you alone.
Thank you, mortal, but do not interfere with them, for you are no match for those that hunt me.
And why do you believe you're a vampire?
I don't need to believe anything. It is what I am. It is what I feel within this hollow shell of flesh.
Please, describe to me how you feel. What is it like to be a vampire?
I can hear my body crumble from the inside as my flesh cracks and fades. I sense the last pulse of postulant blood within my drying veins. I need new blood.
I see. Have you ever heard of Cotard syndrome, Miss Howcroft?
Never.
It's a mental illness discovered by a French neurologist named Jules Cotard. The affected patients are delusional. They believe that they are putrefying, that they are dead, a ghost or a ghoul. Or in your case, a vampire.
Delusional, you say? Oh, sad and petty mortal. You can't even begin to understand the concept of immortality. And you think it is I who am delusional.
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark, to your nocturnal activities.
I have wasted.
Good evening, nurse.
Good evening, Doctor. I don't think we've been introduced yet. My name is Pippa Hawkins.
And I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. Dr. Swansea has recently offered me a position in this hospital.
Well, it's a euphemism that your help will be appreciated, Doctor.
How would you describe this situation?
It's serious. The flu is wreaking havoc amongst the staff and patients. We are running out of everything.
You must get a hold of yourself, nurse.
Sorry, I'm exhausted. No one has any idea when this epidemic will be over.
Nurse Hawkins, the Spanish flu won't last forever. Even the Black Plague didn't kill everyone.
I wish I could believe you. But what if this epidemic was worse? What if in the end, nobody was spared?
I'm really sorry, sir. I'll be back in a couple of minutes.
How long have you been...
Well, long enough to see that the epidemic is winning. And no matter how qualified...
You'd be surprised what dedication can achieve, Nurse Hawkins.
Sorry, Doc.
How is the Pembrokes?
Well, not well. Milton, the ambulance driver, is even more grumpy than usual. Especially concerning doctors.
Why did...
I don't know. Just ask him.
Why is...
Milton's not the kind of man who's bothered about a bad reputation.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
It's here again. Fear and disgust on every streetcar.
Good evening, sir. Can I help you?
Unless you're here to fix my face. No. I don't think you can help me.
I'm Dr. Reed. I've recently taken the position of head surgeon.
You guessed right, Doctor. German shell took my pretty little mug right off. But they still call me Thomas Holt.
How close are you to Miss Hawcroft? Are you aware that she thinks she is a vampire?
To wait for her next nibble is the best reason to stay here. Every time she approaches my bed...
Aren't you afraid? She may hurt you if the game goes too far.
She's quite harmless, I can assure you. Her head's broken inside.
You do realize she's mentally disturbed. It's called the Cotard.
In her madness, she never refers to me.
So do you let her bite you? You know that's not sensible.
And why not? She's only supping a few drops of my blood.
She could decide to bite less willing.
Then it's another good reason for me to stay here.
Where were you stationed, sir? Did you serve for...
I really don't want...
No offense. I was pushing too much.
You were an officer, weren't you?
How is your stay with her?
Oh, it's bliss. I
Can I ask you precisely why you're a patient?
It's the pain, sir. The drugs don't work. It just hurts under the scars, if you get my drift.
Can I do anything for your...
Nurses gave me a bunch of pills. No effect. Told you. It's like the flames are under my skin, but...
Who is treating you? Is someone in particular?
Nobody since the old and tired doctor spoke to me.
You don't seem worried.
My face hurts so much more when I smile or cry. I've learned it's easier not...
Goodbye for now, Mr. Elwood.
Fear and disgust on every street corner. The daily routine.
Good evening, Mr. Hampton.
Dr. Reed, is it? Oh, sorry.
What do you mean?
I was not myself in the factory. Fear and exhaustion made me...
You remained perfectly nice and polite. A little delirious, perhaps. But who wouldn't be after enduring an abduction?
Thank you, Doctor. That's a relief. Now all I need to do is rest and return to my flock.
How do you feel, Mr.
I feel exhausted.
You're in good hands here. Dr. Swan's...
Thank you, sir. I believe all...
What do you do for a living?
I manage a night asylum for the poor and homeless of the docks.
Are you a priest?
Not at all, Doctor. I'm just a man of faith, willing...
Why didn't you use your cross against William Bishop?
That's a very strange question, Doctor.
Have you made friends?
Not really. But I recognize Miss Harriet Jones.
You never came to see her here at Pembroke?
You're preaching to the converted now, Doctor.
How did you end up in William...
I had received alarming news about his recent behavior.
You dared to enter this awful place alone?
I'm just a man trying to help his friends.
Why did he abduct you?
William was an alcoholic. His addiction suddenly changed to blood. I don't know why. Just like a patient I met here. This Miss Hawcroft.
Do you know Tom Watts? The bartender from the...
Tom? Yes, of course. Always the helping hand, good old Tom. Without men like him, corruption and despair would have wiped out the East End long ago.
Who should I avoid in this part of town, then?
Not really. Most men and women are just doing their best.
People are still in...
How could it be otherwise? The authorities of it...
What is the general situation?
The situation has always been tough, with a lot of tensions between the gangs and the dockers' trade union.
Has the gang been threatening you?
Ah, no. I've had this nickname for so...
Who leads the gang?
Since Clay Cox went missing, it's his wife Edwina who runs the...
Goodbye, Mr. Hampton. We'll talk again later.
The pain. It's here again.
Good evening, sir.
Reed? Yes, I've been informed about...
Does my arrival...
Let us just say that I don't particularly share Dr. Swans's enthusiasm for...
Since your tenure in this hospital is longer than mine...
Let's just say I'm tired of the carelessness around me.
Carelessness?
We're here to save lives.
I don't intend to...
Modern medical methods work...
If you have a problem with me, Dr. Ackroyd, please...
Dr. Swansea has imposed your presence on this...
I know we've never met before.
Oh, but I have heard about you.
Aren't you too old for such jealousy? It really won't do you any good, you know.
Don't be
I don't know what you've heard about me, but I have...
I don't question your skills, Dr. Reed, but your motive. Is it money?
And what exactly is that supposed to mean?
I served in the war just like you. But unlike you, I did not use the wounded to play the modern sorcerer.
Be careful what you insinuate, Dr. Ackroyd.
I only want you to admit you used those men to improve your theories.
This is ridiculous. My blood transfusion technique saved many lives, and you know it.
You see? That is exactly what I hate about people like you.
I don't know what
I don't-
and what.
I said-
Be careful what.
I only-
This is
You
ridiculous.
see?
It seems you have.
I refuse to see this industrial...
We can at least agree on some. I don't. And what exactly?
I served in the...
Be careful what you
I only want you to...
This is ridiculous.
You see?
Thank you for your time. We'll talk later.
I will not let you down, my boy.
Finally, you've returned, Doctor. Did you find anything of value?
Yes, nurse.
You've worked your first miracle, Doctor. Now, this patient here...
Duty calls. When the storm has passed, I'll show you how to mix the remedy yourself with the same basic ingredients.
Many thanks, Doctor. When you've finished, you ought to report to Dr. Swansea in his office. He's been looking for you. Seemed pressing.
Good evening, madam.
It's my son.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed.
I'm Beatrice Goswell.
What can you...
Not much to say.
Are you really...
Yes,
May I...
I'm a teacher.
What do you think of your reception here?
I have had the uttermost reservations about this hospital.
Is there something in particular that's bothering you?
Some of the staff were not especially welcoming.
Tell me more about your arrival at the Pembroke Hospital.
The ambulance driver was quite rude for a
What do you mean?
She managed to secure a bed.
She charged you for a bed?
Yes, and I paid without question, considering the urgency of the situation.
I share your...
I don't expect compensation, Dr. Reed.
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswell.
I'm all...
Good evening.
No.
Really?
I don't want to talk,
I suppose that this pain is the reason you're here. Is someone taking care of you?
Yes.
Could you at least tell me your name?
Mortimer.
How painful.
So painful,
I'll let you get some rest.
I'm alright. Don't waste your time with me. My sweet girl.
Please, Jonathan, come in. Fascinating, is it not? In the last decade, so many mysteries have been brought to light with our microscopes. The human body, biology's penultimate frontier. The more we explore its boundaries, the less we're able to trace a clear line between life and death. You, my friend, have a foot in both countries. The view must be vertiginous.
It's at least as vertiginous as chatting about vampires with you, I would say.
This must be all so new to you. This area of town, the hospital, a brand new life. How stimulating it must be.
I wish I could share your enthusiasm, Dr. Swansea, but my condition defies scientific categorization. Undead? Unalive? Immortality defies logic.
I cannot express my thrill at this serendipitous turn of events. The world's most eminent specialist in blood transfusions, a vampire. One might say a gift from heaven.
I'm a dead man. I was murdered. Now I'm a murderer. Tell me how this is a gift.
Forgive me. I've been an admirer of your work for a long time, and now you are so much more than a brilliant physician. And please, call me Edgar.
I'm not some doe-eyed student, Edgar. I understand we both have something to gain from this relationship.
Very well. I have a task for you, Jonathan. Something that will require all your newfound skills.
Please, go on.
The Pembroke only survives through the generosity of our benefactors. Unfortunately, our main donor has found herself in a bit of a bind. Now, if you could help her out...
A spokesman or politician is what you need. That's not my calling. And until I come to understand what has happened to me, I require discretion.
Discretion is in order, Jonathan. Lady Ashbury has recently received rather indelicate correspondence that, if revealed, would jeopardize her position.
And you would like me to eradicate this threat?
By the stole, of course not. I would just like you to pay her a visit. Her ladyship is certainly near the tents outside, tending the sick. You can't miss her. Look for someone impossibly delicate.
Accepted. I'll see what kind of trouble Lady Ashbury is in. I cannot enter. Good evening, miss.
I need blood.
Tell me, Thelma, why do you feel so attacked?
I'm not sure, Doctor.
Would you say you and Mr.
No. No, Thomas is a delegate.
Do you plan to make him?
Of course not. How could I inflict my...
Have you heard of any blackmail?
I have no time for mortal games.
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark, to your nocturnal activities. Good evening, Doctor. I believe we're going to be working.
Dr. Reed. Dr. Swansea in... I am Thoreau Strickland.
What do you think of Dr. Ackroyd's aversion?
It's a shame he's so narrow-minded. Dr. Swansea taught me that science is about exploring uncharted territory. I'm convinced that's true. I believe that if Dr. Ackroyd...
So you believe it's just a question?
Dr. Ackroyd is as proud as he...
Please, could you tell me...
I'm a great admirer of your work concerning...
What made you choose...
I'm not ashamed to admit you and you...
Do you need my medical attention, dear colleague?
You don't have to worry about me, Dr. Reed. I am here.
Please, could you tell me...
I'm a great...
What...
I'm not ashamed...
It's always...
This epidemic may be...
I'd
rather not talk about it.
As long as you're cautious.
You're not the first one. What? Well, it is all...
Do you need...
Well, yes.
Do you want me to play the...
Oh, no, Dr. Reed.
I see. You seem...
I'm convinced.
Questions rem...
True.
Tell me more about your willingness to expect...
Harvey Fiddick is a patient suffering from a severe...
What is it you really want?
Fair question.
Tell me, Mr.
Our first diagnosis was...
But why would he hide such crucial...
Because he is a proud father.
This personal involvement could...
I agree. But that does not...
Do you think keeping his...
All I know is that I'm taking care of...
Have you heard any talk of...
If you're running some official inquiry, you had better question the patient...
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland. Good evening, sir.
I don't know.
I see.
I'm Harvey Fiddick.
Tell me about you.
I'm just a regular...
I was more curious...
I'm a carpenter.
Tell me about the doc...
Strickland and Ackroyd.
What do you mean? Are you
Well...
I won't lie to you.
Are you sure you don't want...
In other circumstances... Have you heard talk of any blackmail here at the hospital?
No. Nothing.
Tell me about your injury, Harvey.
My wife died because of...
You can't hold your...
Of course I didn't hurt myself. But I can't work and...
How could your job be responsible?
I was working a double.
Tell me more about the death...
1915.
What happened? How are your children?
They were smaller then.
I'm sorry for your loss. So many...
I would like to say that she didn't suffer.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
Oh, sweet girl. Reads me like a book.
Good evening.
Evening.
Have you heard?
If you want to know what...
Goodbye for now, Mr. Elwood.
Time has lost its effect on me.
Disgust.
But the suffering continues.
So many deaths. And what of my own life?
Disgust on every street corner. The daily routine.
I have wasted too much energy for so little result.
Thelma Howcroft said she was being watched by vampire hunters. Where are they hiding? I should investigate. Good evening.
Always a pleasure to meet
A colleague?
Not anymore.
What do you mean?
No, sir.
Do you need medical attention?
I'm feeling all right.
Please show me what you have to...
Of course. It's just trinkets and curios, really. Never ceases. The dead seem peaceful and lost at the same
time. It's locked, all right.
This epidemic. There's good reason to be proud.
flu took my dear wife, Emily. I take comfort knowing we'll soon be together again.
Mr. Rainfield, that's no way to talk. You're in good hands here, and we'll be up again soon enough. Now do me a kindness and get some sleep. I'll be back round later.
Your words are kind, the blessings of an angel. You're the sweet, sweet Lady of Mercy.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. It's a pleasure to see you again. You seem surprised. Dr. Swansea has brought me up to speed concerning your recent...
Apologies. You've taken me by surprise. I'm very happy to see you.
The pleasure is mine, Doctor.
I hope you're more disposed to answer my questions now.
You must have countless questions, but our rather urgent matter first. Swansea has explained. My cover, if you prefer, has been compromised.
Dr. Swansea has commissioned me to be your agent in this matter. You could start by explaining what's amiss.
These past insufferable weeks, I've been the victim of extortion. I've made a first payment, but the blackmailer grows greedy. I must refuse his most recent demands.
Please continue.
My embarrassment in this matter is eclipsed only by my...
I'll take care of it. Do you know where I should start?
If that was the case, I'd settle...
I'll meet that woman now.
My life, as others know, is...
Good evening, Mr. Cox.
Dr. Reed. Still working at night, I said.
And why is that?
People who don't sleep at night.
You're lucky to be alive, Mr. Cox. I hope you're starting to take better care of yourself.
This place is full of sickness and decay.
I will see you later. Do you ever think about that poor fellow?
The wound he gave me will make sure...
What did he want?
I recently had to kill his brother.
You're a monster, Mr. Cox. An ungrateful and disgusting man.
I'm the toughest bastard you'll ever meet, Dr. Reed. And I don't give a fuck what you think of me.
That man was determined.
What a surprise. The first time I met him.
Have you...
Blackmail?
How long do you think you can escape the law?
I know this city like the back of my...
The police may...
Well, how come you didn't turn me in?
How long do you...
I know this city...
The police may...
Well, how come you didn't turn...
I'll leave you for now.
What? What?
There's no need for alarm, madam.
Preposterous. Dr. Reed.
Please, calm down, madam.
How brave.
Harriet Jones.
Oh,
better than any patient, nurse, or doctor.
I heard there have been some despicable goings.
Blackmail? Wait.
I assure you, madam, this is not...
Debauchery, then? No.
Really? Well, if you have...
This is your business, Doctor, not mine.
Thank you for your time, Miss Jones. You... The patients and staff might know something. I'll start my investigation with them.
I wonder why the Goswicks came here in the first place.
Good evening.
So it is...
Do we know each other?
Actually, yes.
Dr. Tippett.
He was also...
Corcoran,
He was my patient. He died because of...
Who was this patient?
I don't know. So...
What was the nature?
It was a twofold error. My diagnosis was wrong.
Why not stop practicing?
Are you mad?
What can you...
Some are really good, and others...
Tell me...
Nurse Brannigan is...
You really seem to...
I'll go if...
Any opinion?
I don't always agree with Dr. Swan.
Ah, yes, the bird.
Don't get me wrong.
What is the
This hospital is not exactly the best.
It's not
Don't be misled by appearances, Doctor.
Have you heard of it?
I have no time for...
Do you need any medical assistance yourself, Doctor?
Come on, don't be ridiculous.
Goodbye, Dr. Good evening.
Good evening.
What can you...
Let me guess.
She could have...
That old witch.
No matter...
Who says I don't...
What can you tell me?
Let me guess.
What can you tell me?
Let me guess.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
If only I were young again. Just a dozen years.
So many people dying at the same time.
Still standing up.
The patients are not full.
You're sure you don't come back with me?
Nah, I have to see someone at the hospital.
Be careful. You look so bad they may keep you as a patient.
Fuck 'em. I don't like hospitals or doctors.
Well then, when you go back to Whitechapel, you may find this useful.
What is it?
A pass for a free medical exam by the best nurse available. Just read it.
I don't read well, but thank you, I guess.
This man has been savagely attacked and dragged to the floor.
I don't want to die here! I want to see the sky, feel the fresh air!
Are you injured?
Help me get out of here! I need to get out!
I'm Dr. Reed, and I'd be glad to help you, but you must...
Okay, Okay,
All right, Mr. Thatcher, you're safe now.
Yes, I do.
Good. Now leave this place and enjoy the... Are you sure you're all right?
Yes.
What sort of creature is this? Not a lot to check, but I should anyway. Some voucher for a free checkup in Whitechapel. What is Nurse Crane up to? I really must find her. Locked, all right. The flower's dying. It needs water.
leeches every night. I, the god, recruit more and more every year. I'm here, I know it. A leech!
That leech is fast! Christ! He's dead!
Whitechapel. This neighborhood is linked somehow to the kind Lady Ashbury's blackmail. First, let's find this Petrescu fellow.
Fuck you all! Fuck it all! Stop it now, Albert, stop it! Me? I'll not die in some piss-stinking alley reeking worse than a week-old lavvy.
What? Shooting a boy in the middle of the street. Not the best thing to do, wouldn't you say?
What? You saw what happened? Who are you?
I'm Dr. Reed, and I'd like to ask you a few questions, if you promise me to set your gun aside.
No. Look, I'm not a violent man. I'm Benjamin Palmer, doctor. And no one can help me. Not even you.
Do you know Nurse
Funny, I've been searching for...
Really?
Word is she ain't real.
Whatever the boy did, I'm sure he...
I swear I didn't want to hit him. It's just that...
Perhaps...
I'm sick.
What?
Nothing to say.
You mean you...
Yeah.
You don't...
Not since the death...
A gun?
My boots will be proud of me.
Are you all right?
The bastard hit the wall next to me. I don't even know if he meant to miss.
If you've been hurt, I can help you.
Name's Albert. Remember it.
Do you know...
Never heard of her.
What happened?
Hey!
Yes.
Shut off.
It's true.
I said...
Do you need assistance?
Please. Feeling tired.
There you go. Let's hope nobody steals it from you.
Very funny.
Goodbye, young man.
The wet boots will be proud of me.
What do you want? Leave me alone.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I'm looking for Nurse Dorothy Crane.
There is no Dorothy Crane here. Now goodbye.
I'm afraid this medical leaflet says the opposite, sir.
Really? Well, I'm afraid I'm going to close this door right now. Go bother someone else, Mr. Doctor.
To enter that house, I must discover who this man really is. Maybe I could start by observing what he's up to.
A strange man was at the door with a pass for our medical facility. I refused him entry.
Darius, how could you know he didn't need our help?
His clothes were too finely tailored to be for Whitechapel.
Perhaps just a friend of that stray poet who is always about.
Richard Nithercott? No, not of the same cloth, this man. I suspect some machination from that journalist.
Clayton Darby. Is he still asking questions?
Yes. I saw him drifting around St. Mary's Church. I swear he is tracking me just downwind.
I must talk to that journalist or the poet. They must know about Darius. Nearby the church they just mentioned. No one's there. Excuse me, sir. I have
another journalist.
I'm not a journalist. I'm
a doctor, yes, sir.
Really?
I'm Joe Pete.
Have you heard of a nurse?
Dorothy Crane.
Could you please...
She's a nice...
May I...
I'll do what...
According
not for
this part...
Totally.
Goodbye, Mr. Peterson. Forgive my...
Do not...
I am Dr...
Aside?
Do you...
I don't like... that.
What?
Before...
What?
All's
quite a...
for you.
Well,
as a dog,
what do you mean?
The beat.
Really? What is left?
Cleansed.
Tell me, Tobias.
God will recognize.
Purification...
Your lack of faith is...
You're mad.
My son.
Joseph...
Vicar...
What do you mean?
Also...
Quite a judge...
For you, I see...
Well...
As a dog...
What do you mean?
The beast...
I have... Good evening. I know what you're thinking. Camellia, I know you work for Dorothy Crane. I know you understand what I'm saying. Very well. Hello. Very well. Goodbye then. I cannot enter.
Pay me a bottle and don't be...
I'm not...
All right then.
Do you know...
I don't know.
You seem...
Dorothy... I don't...
Can...
If it is...
You can...
And you...
Tell me.
Are you...
I have no... I'll...
You know...
Do you need any assistance?
It depends on the price of...
I will... Goodbye, miss.